Okay. What have you all got? Let's see, we got a chainsword. That is worse. We've got a combat shotgun. I will take this new shotgun. Yes. This is good armor. Is this better than, like, your armor? Yes, it appears to just be better, so we will take a few of these. All the usual trash. Okay.
I will lead us to fortune.
I will equip the shotgun over the sniper rifle. Then the armor. I will wear it. You will wear it. Argenta. Yep, you also might as well wear it. Pascal. Base armor property. This has like a special effect, huh? Yes, so that... He's gaining logic equal to the armor, so there's a good reason for him to keep that equipped. You can also have it. Great. That looks horribly out of place over the top of your armor, but what can you do, I suppose?
I always keep my options open.
Alright, well, let's get poking around. What a delightful place. You know, I wonder if they were all just sat there drinking while all that was happening nearby.
My house would be
At first glance, these look like standard containers, but their frames have been reinforced and their ceiling improved to keep the smell in. These are used to transport contraband. And we will say nothing about that, I suppose, you know?
I've read about
The
this.
container is labeled Destination Janus. It is covered in dust. It must have spent a long time at the dock.
Keep your wits about you.
Goods. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, there's a lot of space around here.
Just as I planned.
The small altar, the central spot, has been given to Drusus. Oh, Christ. Please. A saint from the neighboring Calixtus sector is widely revered in the Coronis Expanse. There
Always
go
keep
the
your eye on the
serfs,
prize.
all looking terribly not busy at the moment. Beatings will continue until productivity improves. What have we got here? We need no rules or leaders. We are not an organization. We are a force of nature. I see.
I always
Wow.
have a backup plan.
Whatever you say, bro. Do you have a name? The tall, hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly. A breathing mask conceals his gaunt features. The skin on his hands is of a sickly gray hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage and are plated in black chrominium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness? What? I have no clue, bro. Initiating identification procedure. This unit is defined as Logos Opticon 22 and is a fully authorized representative structural part of the Cognizance Fleet and priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Access has been granted to the following options: information, exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, trade deals, donations. Initiating official greeting procedure for esteemed high-value visitors. Glory, success to House von Valancius. A binaric aria begins to flow from the scratched fox attached to the tech priest's chest, requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation Logisticar Theta. Pascal and Opticon exchange glances and a short series of binaric signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Opticon 22's head bows noticeably lower than Pascal's. I want to make a trade deal. Look at what we've got here. Wow. Actual trading to be done. How much money do I have? Oh. Profit factor. Okay. Hits an enemy with a dead eye shot. Okay. Where to parry melee attacks with their ranged weapons using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. Oh, Ah, yes, I'd like that, please. That sounds delightful. Can I sell to you? Wait, my profit factor didn't go down? What? Okay. Sure. Can I sell to you? Okay. Great. Reputation. I'm immediately overwhelmed by what I'm looking at. Okay. Yeah, trade it all. Yes. Great. My reputation has gone up. Excellent. Some roguish trading has occurred. Delightful. Awesome. That was a fucking weird trading interface. That just immediately overwhelmed me the second I looked at it. What the fuck is this? Ooh, Enforcer armor. Hold on now. Will dodge 44% of average enemy attacks. Sounds good. How's it look? Looks better than the other one. Let's go. Yeah. More goods. Shotgun worse, but you know, we're gonna yoinky sploinky all that stuff. What the fuck? Hello? Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Alright, I'm not going to sit there and brute force that, actually, so, you know. We'll find something, I'm sure. Anything hiding over there? Nope. Okay, let's go in. What's that? Ragman? Okay. Good talk. More goods. This is a big place. What we got? I'm writing to inform you that 2 days ago, the discharge was interrupted by a raid launched by the Anvers gang. In the attack, 3 loader servitors were put out of commission. Furthermore, 1 container, serial number, was stolen along with its contents. Okay.
Rise to the top, or get
Well,
left in the
rank
dust.
5 functionary Morbitio Cavalli. Okay. Good talk.
As it should be.
Container is marked for foodstuffs, but is empty, and the looks of it has not been moved in a while. I see. Now is our time, not theirs. Go to their homes, drag them out of their beds, carve open their bodies like carcasses at a slaughterhouse. The Imperial Navy, Caspalica, Cordia, von Valentius, their names mean nothing now. Tomorrow will erase them from memory. Go and seize power, as much of it as you can carry. So, like, bad news, dude. Rebellions do not tend to go very well in 40k, and you will suffer a fate worse than death for failure also. I wouldn't recommend trying, personally. Atrium. Shadow quarters. Maybe let's just go to the atrium first. As exciting as the shadows sounds, you know. This looks like a big fucking area. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
More stuff. What do we got here? Immune to burning. Whenever there's a turn, burning is removed from all adjacent allies. Well, you know, if we ever start, you know, that seems like the sort of thing you tech in. You don't just wear that all the time.
How it's done.
These columns appeared here back when the station was founded. What a weird way to say it, appeared here, as if they just materialized? When it was assumed that Footfall would become a wondrous palace in the stars. Appeared is just such a weird way to phrase that, as if, like, you know, we don't know where that pillar came from, it just showed up one day, you know? Instigators, okay. Alright, I've already got that one. We got some instigating happening, it looks like. Fantastic. Hey, what are you instigating, brother? The buzzing crowd has closed in on several harried-looking individuals. Some of their faces are smeared with fresh blood. The angry cries and twisted faces leave no doubt. A massacre is about to take place. Just cut their throats already. What were they thinking, letting that ship dock at footfall? They're all stricken. No cutting. We get their blood on us, we'll be tainted too. Better burn them. Rotator bears. Now that's a priest right there.
Be quiet, you scoundrel.
A priest clad in simple black raiment cuts through the crowd like a void ship crossing the sky.
You dare pass judgment on others? What arrogance to think you have the right.
Argentus starts at the sight of the elderly priest. That's Reverend Hieronymus. Yes, Hieronymus. I'm surprised he's decided to intervene in a street squabble. What's going on here? Several dozen gazes bore into you. And who are you supposed to be? Okay. Tempting. Yes. I am the judge of the worthless and the executioner of cowardice. Which one of you void rats dared to address me without the proper respect? The crowd shrinks away from your booming voice as if physically struck, although that isn't far from the truth. They avert their eyes and cower under your burning gaze as it sweeps over the gathered riffraff. Finally, one trembling rabble-rouser is pushed forward. We were just rooting out heresy here. These scrawny ones, they're from the ship that came from the bowels of the Coronis Expanse. They've got plague there, and mutants, and now they're spreading that rot everywhere, that taint. They're all...
Silence! You must be completely out of your minds. A band of woefully dim-witted reprobates who think themselves bringers of justice. Who are you to pass judgment on anyone? All you ought to be doing is suffering and repenting till the end of your days.
What's so wrong with that, Reverend? We just want to put these heretics to death.
We're not heretics. The haggard man is on the verge of tears. We're refugees, I swear it on the golden throne. We served the Imperium faithfully until they hung us out to dry. Where were the protectors that were meant to shield the lands of humanity from the nightmares? Traitors and heretics, the lot of them.
A murmur runs through the crowd. The people gawk at you, at the priest, at the wretched group huddling in the center. How tiring. The motley sea of colors that fill this restless crowd is hard on the eyes. So many hues, but most of them are acid yellow streaks of fear, their red buds swelling, ready to burst and paint all who are gathered here. Cassia looks at the crowd of troublemakers wearily, and they shudder at the very sight of her. As for the hearts of those who have been forced to defend themselves, they're shrouded in purplish-black grief, but their words are as transparent as the ice that lies on top of a glacier. But commoners are always deaf to others' suffering, for such is their nature. Interfering in their affairs is hardly worthy of you or me, Ophelia. Well, these are serious accusations you're spouting. I hope you have proof to back them up. What more proof do I need? Kivana Gamma used to be a prosperous world. My family transported goods there for generations, and when they came, they butchered, tortured, sacrificed entire blocks to the darkness. We were on our ship up in orbit, and all those messages started coming in. Half the wardens down there joined them right away, and then they reached us in the ship with some blight that made half our crew take their own lives. We barely escaped. We barely made it here. Why? Why did this happen to us? I wonder what this is all about. Is our planet really under attack, or did some devious opportunist send these slanderers here to undermine the might of the Van Valencius dynasty? Who could it be, I wonder? There is one guy I bet you've heard of. His name's Conrad Voediger van Valencius. He ran from us not too long ago after having his ass handed to him. He must be itching to get even. Get even by besmirching the dynasty to which he belongs and supremacy to which he laid claim. He is scum, but he's no idiot. No, I don't think this... I think this is something else. There are many who wish to weaken House von Valancius. Either that or it's much simpler. These people aren't lying and their planet was captured by heretics and the rest of it they made up themselves. I can sense darkness in their past. I may not be an expert on Kunrads and their schemes, but when it comes to things like this, I know what I'm talking about. All onlookers are to return to their homes immediately. The refugees can go to Dock Alpha Rho. I will speak to you later. Comply or face the consequences. None of the people dare defy you. They back away carefully, trying not to look at you. The refugees use the interruption to make off in the direction of Dock Alpha Rho. Great job, team.
The arrogance and self-righteousness of a malefactor.
The priest shakes his head disapprovingly, then his eyes shift to you.
I am Reverend Hieronymus Delarosso, head of the Derusian mission here on Footfall. I thank you for stepping in. Please come see me when you have time. We can talk then.
Alright, bye. To be honest, I want to just do that now. What's this? The sight of the cogitator would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawled drawings with frivolous writing scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing and the rest are coated with dust. Pascal's respirator lets out a mournful hiss before he says grimly, "The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated, requesting the identification and punishment of the deplorable acolyte entrusted with the caring of the spirit of this machine." After a series of creaks and groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up. On it are several lines of text, section headings. Praise the Omnisire. The machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved but willing to serve. Accompanied by the crackling of binaric prayers, Pascal's mechandendrites gently place a couple of keys lying on the floor back into place. Welcome. The screen flickers a few times before revealing to the world a text in low Gothic. In the name of the founder of Footfall Station, conqueror of the stars, builder of outposts, the noblest rogue trader, Parsimus Dewan? On behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parissimus, so that the needy may tap into the flow of wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections and choose what you wish to know. Ebelard's brow furrows. Parsimus Dewan. I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever this Parissimus was, they sure thought big. Lord Captain Parissimus Dewan, one of the trailblazers of the Coronis Expanse and the station's founder. I've read about his great deeds. Lord Dewan was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard, but by his will, later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Coronis Expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades, and Lord Parissimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into the bastion of humanity we know today. One that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Pleased with herself, Cassia nods slightly to let everyone know that the lecture is over. I see. Good text box. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parissimus Dewan as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creator. As of the years of this cogitator's installation, merely a small fraction of the great Parissimus's designs have yet been made a reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Coronis Expanse, a foothold for the future conquest by the Imperium and the noble Parissimus Dewan, who acts as the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks. No, stop. The cogitator whirs and the screen turns back on. Wait, I didn't really expect it to keep going on that one after that, so I just clicked through it. One of the first structures on Footfall was the colossal statue of the Emperor, naturally. A whole asteroid was used for the creation of this sculpture, but even its titanic proportions cannot convey the awe that every faithful servant of the Imperium feels before the Master. The statue is the center of Footfall in the same way the Emperor is the center and heart of the Imperium. As construction progresses, new, smaller asteroids are being attached to the statue, their surface serving as a foundation for glorious palaces and temples, and their inner tunnels are home to the commoners and rabble. The cogitator flickers and grunts before displaying a tapestry of text. The great Perissimus Duane intends to conquer the Coronis Expanse and build the most grandiose structure, which will shine through the ages, praising the names of its creators and his descendants. Footfall, the palace in the stars, the glory of the great Perissimus's deeds, will live on throughout the ages in his grand designs. The cogitator hisses and grunts as it tries to clean its insides by spewing out dust and detritus through the cracks. The cogitator hisses over a while and the screen flickers and once more shows the word. The great Perissimus Duane intends to conquer. Pascal's vox wheezes mournfully. The spirit of this machine is enraged and will perform its function no more. I will see to it that the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for servo penance. As is fitting, of course.
Success is the only
The statue
outcome I accept.
undoubtedly depicts Perissimus Duane, the legendary rogue trader who founded Footfall. I see.
I always
Alright,
keep my options
Hieronymus, let's have a chat, shall we, after I take your stuff. A man with a face so drawn it appears to be made of nothing but skin and bone fixes his unblinking, bird-like eyes on you. The priest's simple black clothes have next to no adornments, and they do nothing to mask his unhealthy gauntness. In a cracked voice he says,
The Emperor protects.
"The Emperor protects, Reverend."
But he protects only those who are pure of heart. Do you think yourself one of them? Be leery of this conviction of yours. Many who have risen to the pinnacle of faith have fallen from it into the embrace of pride most degenerate. And you must be the young Von Valancius. The name carries weight, and it is a burdensome one, for its reputation suggests that Theodora encumbered it with many a transgression. I wonder, will you seek to shed them, or will you carry them onward, picking them along the way like ripe fruit and savoring their sweet poison?
Make the sign of the Holy Aquila. I put my faith in the Emperor. He gives a scrutinizing look, then his tone softens.
Well, then be twice as diligent, for this sector will seize any chance to test your faith.
He looks at Argenta, who is standing nearby, and his voice softens slightly.
Greetings, sister. I congratulate you on your return. Was your pilgrimage fruitful?
It was, Reverend. Let it be known to you that Theodora Van Valancius' ship was attacked by servants of the archenemy, who appall the heart of any righteous soul, she says, nearly hissing with fury, and not all of them met a fitting end. Some fled, and more than that, their blasphemous words clearly pointed to this attack being part of a larger design. Reverend Hieronymus, I wish to join the esteemed rogue trader's crew and help protect the Von Valancius dynasty from the forces of the archenemy. I am divesting myself of the responsibility of guarding the Footfall reliquary. Sister Argenta stood by my side during the assault on the ship, and I could use her assistance going forward. Hieronymus nods in thought.
Follow the call of your soul, sister. The Footfall reliquary will be preserved even without your contribution, as it was in all the years preceding your arrival.
Hieronymus smiles sadly.
I know what it is that calls you to follow the rogue trader, Sister Argenta. You seek combat, for it helps you to forget how hollow and worthless our lives truly are. It offers the illusion of meaning. Perhaps you will relinquish this illusion one day, or perhaps you will die before that day comes. Regardless, I wish you luck on your new path.
That's a very strange thing to you to say, that our lives are meaningless. Surely the Emperor gave all of our lives meaning, right? Whatever.
But before you start on a path towards your new destiny, I have a request to make of you and your companion. Many among my flock are from the poorest, most dispossessed people on Footfall. They've brought me troubling news from Footfall's shadow quarters, in the darkest corners where the liege wardens do not venture. Taint has taken root. Footfall is consumed by profanity, but even here, true heresy, serving the archenemy, is a rarity. The cultists who now dwell in the shadow quarters mark their bodies with a sun inscribed in blue and gold, and perform strange rituals in secret. The weak find solace in believing these reports to be rumors, but I well know that evil lurks all around us, and I wish to see retribution.
I come across heresy surprisingly often these days.
Indeed, dark times are upon us, and wretched souls grow ever more eager to embrace heresy. Both on Footfall and elsewhere, its foul buds are coming into bloom. Troubling news is arriving from many planets. There are whispers of wicked things taking place on Kivia Gamma, and just recently a transport ship by the name of Navika, teeming with refugees, arrived on Footfall from Winterscale's realm. Their world was stricken with blasphemous sedition, and such was its severity that they had to flee to save themselves. The Liege refused to accept them, and so they headed to Foulstone, a desolate cloister of the righteous. It was wise of them not to linger in this den of vileness.
Why don't you go to the Liege with this matter?
I do not walk the paths pleasing to the Liege, Hieronymus frowns. Vladium is weak and riddled with worms on the inside. He seeks to please Kasbalika masters, those peddlers of relics of the unholy Xenos.
We will verify the rumor, Reverend Hieronymus.
With great pleasure. Argenta puts her hands on the stock of her weapon. I almost wish for the rumors to be true. My heart yearns to battle some heretics.
This is where I bid you goodbye, sister. Noble Ophelia, is there more you wish to ask me about?
What are you doing on Footfall?
What am I doing in this den of blasphemers, pagans, and the vilest of souls, you mean to say? Well, Footfall is the first and last stop in the Coronis Expanse. It is the point of arrival for those who have just started on their path, and it is also where those who are reaching its end return, their souls wounded and bleeding. I embrace both the former and the latter, so that they may cast an honest eye over their impurity. Furthermore, rumors from across the entire sector amass in Footfall. If I hear crewmen whispering about a reclaimed shrine world or expressing desire to carry the Emperor's light into the darkness among the stars, I help my flock in their sacred duty. Devoted trailblazers need assistance, both spiritual and material. Tools, equipment, even garments, and their simple everyday items. Anything that might help pilgrims on their long journey during the first days of the harsh frontier life is worth its weight in gold to us. May any help you offer to the effort of gathering such things be blessed.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The typical ecclesiarchy just goes on and on and on.
The path of true believers leads into darkness, to search for worlds that have been lost his radiance. Steeped in depravity, blessed are the deeds of those who give themselves into the void and the warp in hopes that their actions might bring light into the darker reaches of the expanse, and deliver a previously barren world into the Imperium's service.
Hieronymus is silent for a few seconds.
And all the more bitter is the realization that not all brave souls will succeed in their mission. Footfall still awaits news from the Wasteland Wayfarer, an ancient ark of a ship headed for distant stars. Her last astropathic message was sent from beyond the Cinerarius Maleficum, and the stars have kept her fate secret since. I bear another darker duty. The expanse is filled with the tainted creations of unholy heretics. These insidious objects are a danger to the soul, but I know what to do with them. Should you on your travels come upon any dangerous corrupted objects, bring them to me, and the reward for your vigilance will be even more generous. The Derusian mission has much to share with the rogue trader.
I'd like to take a look at what the followers of St. Durenius have to offer me.
Let me see.
Okay. Bloodhound staff. The first use of an attacking navigator power per turn does not set the power on cooldown. Okay. Imperium lore. Okay. Enforcer helmet. All targets have taunting screams. Well, I don't think I have anybody that knows that, so that doesn't seem terribly helpful. Trade. We did not trade nearly as much with you. Such is life. I was not actually done speaking to you, though. I have a question about faith.
My sermon planted the seed of faith in the heart of another rogue trader once. Incendia Corda. Perhaps you are destined to become my second fledgling.
Tell me more about the Emperor. Only the thing our entire society revolves around.
You think it is so easy to put into words his essence and splendor? The Emperor is the perfect deity that reads our hearts and grants us his light. He led humanity out of darkness and horror. He created our great home. He experienced torment and pain which only made him stronger. That is a lesson to us all. Purity is not to be found at the bottom of the dirtiest hive or in golden palaces, but only among the ranks of those who suffer.
Argenta silently makes the sign of the Aquila, her bright eyes burning with unyielding flame. What is the proper way to worship the Emperor?
Pray to him, destroy his enemies, and touch not their poisoned gifts. Cast aside all doubt and be vigilant against the weak souls beside you. When you see a sign of taint, burn it away without pity. Pain is good. It tears the crust of vileness from one's soul. And remember that if you see no faults in you or around you, then you are not being diligent enough in your search, or you are being too lenient on yourself, averting your eyes from the truth.
The Emperor's servants, who are they?
You speak of the Adeptus Ministorum.
The religious body of the Imperium, also known as the Ecclesiarchy, which venerates and promotes the worship of the Emperor.
Well, these heralds of his words hold great power. Every priest, myself included, is part of its hierarchy, and the ecclesiarchy possesses the unique right to judge what is virtuous and what is malign. The Adeptus Ministorum prays and cares for the temples. It sends missions, such as my own, to every corner of the dominion of humanity. It fights against heresies.
So, the Ministorum, the ecclesiarchy, that's what the Sisters of Battle belong to. Here's some fun lore for you. Because of some bad times in the past, it was deemed that the ecclesiarchy would not be allowed to have men under arms. Exact quote. So, let's just have women under arms instead. Loophole successfully found. Okay. May the Emperor bless his faithful servants.
You think that his mercy extends that far? I have seen many who wish to be of our shepherds. Power clouds their vision, and their greedy hands scooped up all they can reach. The ecclesiarchy is long overdue for a cleansing.
Many would consider your remarks about the ecclesiarchy to be heretical.
And many others would find them truthful. I am a preacher of a radical teaching that renounces fear. I've left the bounds of the blessed Imperium to carry his light into the darkness of the frontier. I've come to know depravity firsthand, and now am able to perceive it under any guise. I think I can afford myself a modicum of truth.
Who is the enemy of the Imperium?
It has three faces. The inhuman Xenos, who wish death upon us simply because they are unlike us. The pitiful subhuman mutants, abominations that wish death upon us because they envy us and are ashamed of themselves. And the archenemy that reigns in the Imperium, which wishes death upon us by its very nature.
Darius starts giggling at Hieronymus's words. He forgot to mention people like me. My whole life, people have told me I'm filth on the face of humanity. It's poison. It's bane. She stops abruptly with a sob. Tell me about Incendia Chorda.
Have you heard of Aspes Chorda? Pirate blasphemer, xenophile, and egregious apostate. Incendia is her heir, and a rarity among rogue traders. The protection of the Holy Warrant typically leads to the swift atrophy of conscious and pious dread, but not in Incendia's case. She relentlessly hunts down pirates and firebrands and brings rebelling colonies to repentance, establishing strict discipline. The weight of her wrath is great indeed. The colonies she also punishes are girded with orbital rings of heretic corpses, as a warning to the survivors. As her personal confessor and guide, I find no end to the joy her triumphs in faith bring me.
Her intolerance is worthy of respect.
It is good that you realize this. It may be difficult to admit, but mercy is a weakness and a gateway for degradation.
Thank you for your explanation.
Think nothing of it, young Von Valencius.
Tell me about yourself.
Neither my past nor my present hold any secrets, but take heed when gazing into my heart, for many dark thoughts lurk within.
Okay, dude, whatever you say. What is troubling your heart?
Bad omens. Dark tides have come. Ships from the Imperium barely appear in the Coronis expanse anymore. In Footfall's shadow quarters a taint thrives, and the people here corrupt enough to succumb to it gladly. Rumors around the expanse say that the accursed Xenos have grown bold and are rearing their heads. They attack ships and settlements, walk under the suns of Imperium worlds like kings instead of cowering in the shadows. What next? What adversaries await us if such disgrace is happening already?
He shakes his head sternly. There's more and more talk of how poorly things are going in the Expanse. Some days it seems I can't take 2 steps without hearing some peasant pontificating on the matter. Even if it is as dire as they say, the Von Valencius realm will not crumble under the blows of fate, no matter how devastating. Chin up, Lord Captain. This is no time to lose heart and lament your lot.
Not only is your hope false, it is also dangerous. Among his servants, there have been people of greater integrity who sullied themselves in their attempt to rise above the rest.
Who were you in the past?
A wretched fiend, blinded by my ambitions, I served in my home planet's Adeptus Administrorum division. I was a shrewd and sly bureaucrat, and I soared to great heights, to the very chair of perfect. In 30 years, I turned my home from a withered fringe colony into a prosperous world. Our wealth grew as we bloomed. But the bloom was a veneer for rot. Opulence had depraved us, and luxury had seduced us with its sordid promises. The planet's denizens no longer wished to pray or work. They only sought entertainment and dangerous philosophies. 1,000 vile heresies and 1,000,000 appalling vices bred on my world like mold on a Nutribar. In those days, I saw with my own eyes the shameless ugliness of the soul. I repented of my hubris, left the position of prefect, and became a traveling missionary. I have been one ever since. As for my world, 20 years later, the Holy Inquisition consigned it to purifying flames.
The Emperor is merciful for allowing you a chance at redemption.
Who said I had redeemed myself? I doomed an entire world to degeneracy. You think a decade or 2 of wandering with a mission is enough to atone for that? No. I am a poor excuse for a shepherd in his eyes.
Your words about the past are drowned in murky hues of sickly green, and your talk of the present falls in gray flakes of ash upon the shoulders of your listeners. Sorrow truly weighs on you, Reverend Hieronymus, and that is why the fire in your words is so devoid of golden radiance. The faded flickers of teachings leave nothing but black soot on their souls. All right, bye. The Emperor protects. Good talk, brother. That wasn't depressing at all.